time. Our passion is just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan, call Alabama Home Mortgage, because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586 368, Equal Housing Lender.
Hello, my name is Twan Nettles Jackson, and I'm the owner of Jackson Tax Service. And when it comes to advertising my business, Blue Water Broadcasting is my number one choice. I've been using them for several years, and they definitely help increase my business. What are you waiting for? Give them a call today.
Blue Water Broadcasting is the #1 most listened to radio group in the River region. Find out how to put this reach to work for your business. Call us to find out how we can help. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the Afternoon. This part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting. And they're at River Region Contracting. They're ready to help you out with any and all of your needs when it comes to your roof. Could be an asphalt or a metal roof. Either needs to be inspected on a regular basis. And, that could be every few years, every 3 to 5 years.
Right.
But, Eddie and I have been suggesting do it every year.
Here in Alabama, why not? We get those extreme weathers from the extreme heat to this weekend we're heading into a freeze. So that's going to affect whether you got a metal roof or an asphalt roof. We've got a company that'll come check it out for you for free.
And when you find a problem early, that's when insurance will pay for it. They're not going to be like, oh, you were negligent.
Right.
And when you find a problem early, it's generally going to be cheaper. So if you had an issue that you let fester for a while, it adds the cost. And don't even go there. If you want that peace of mind, call up River Region Contracting for an inspection. And you're like, well, how much is that going to cost me? Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Their inspections are always free, and their estimates. If they do find an issue, they'll write up an estimate for free. It's always accurate. They show up on time. They do the job well. They don't leave a big old mess. Like I'm sure you've seen, like the fast food and the soda bottles
and the
nails
yes.
especially. No, that's not River Region Contracting. That's not how they work. And they really do take the time. If you want to know exactly, here's the problem and here's how we're fixing it. They love to educate their customers on what they're actually up to. And if you do need to wrestle with your insurance company over a roof repair, their insurance specialists there at River Region Contracting, and they can walk you through that claims process, make it a swift and easy experience. So call them up today at 356-8635. That's 356-8635. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you. Again, 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. That's 334-272-9228. Yeah, it looks like Johnson is short. Short of the votes.
I was going to say, shot across the bow there, tall guy.
Yeah. Hey, there's no need to get personal there.
I'm average. I'm not that worried about it.
You are not average.
He's
What is the average?
I think it's 5'9" is the average.
I thought so too. For girls.
Oh, I'm above average.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point.
Oh, for girls or dudes?
I'm pretty sure 5'9" is average for dudes.
Oh, okay.
Well, you know what? It's almost as if we can Google this right now.
The Google?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what is the average height for an American male?
American males. I spelled Malays. The average height. Yeah, 5'9". Thank you, AI overview.
Wow, nicely done.
I'm smart. I'm not dumb, not like everybody says. I'm smart, and I want respect. Sorry. It's been Godfather references. Ever since I had that one Godfather reference, it's just been nothing but Godfather references.
So he's too shy of the majority. He needs 218. He got 216.
But didn't you say that Chip Roy voted for?
Yeah, and I guess it shocked everybody.
So Massey is obviously a no.
Right.
Who the heck else?
I think it's this Ralph Norman character.
Ralph Norman.
I don't know.
I don't know
Comedy.
a dadgum thing about Ralph Norman.
Is that the guy from South Carolina?
Wreck-It Ralph, am I right?
I don't know, man. Like that, we'll see. 272-9228. Again, that's 334-272-9228. I think this gets done by the middle of the day.
And if not, Mike Rogers will snap someone's neck.
He'll come down and want to talk to somebody.
Man, that guy, that helmet hair does not move, baby.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
I mean, if you're going to wear a toupee, you might as well wear an obvious one and then get very angry if anybody points it out.
Well,
Yeah.
also,
It's a fun game.
He's smart in the sense of if you're going to wear a toupee, everybody knows you're wearing a toupee.
Right.
The worst thing that can happen is that toupee to come off.
Yeah.
So he has just invested in some super glue of some sort. That thing ain't ever coming off.
Remember how, like, after the hurricane or a tornado, people always show pictures of, like, the two cross beams that set up like a cross,
Yeah.
and they put some meaning behind it. You put that man in the middle of a hurricane, and I promise you, that hair will remain. They're gonna
would be
venerate it.
hysterical.
They'll venerate it in the Vatican as a miracle. People will engage in Alabamian Catholics will engage in a pilgrimage to go see that one day. Mark my words.
Absolutely.
It's very shellac,
Absolutely.
very helmet-like.
Yeah. You could probably do like the Juggernaut in the old DC and the old Marvel comics.
Well, and imagine what kind of toupee you could buy with all that like military
Toupees ain't cheap,
contractor
though,
money.
man.
Yeah.
I seen
how do you know this, Eduardo?
Well, the women's part. I seen a woman's wig that someone in my family might have bought. It was like $4,000. Yeah, I didn't look very good. at it at all.
$4,000?
Yeah, it was
For a
like
weave?
$4,000. No, it was a wig, real big wig, supposedly real hair.
Wait, what's the difference between a wig and a weave?
The weave they weave in.
Oh, they weave into your
Yeah,
real
yes.
hair.
A
wig.
wig is just
You just
Velcro
yeah,
or glue or tape or
Okay.
something like that.
It's kind of
And
the same
the
thing.
weaves are typically like horsehair,
Yes.
stuff like that. And even the cheaper wigs is Asian hair, but you have to pay a lot if you want like blonde hair and crap like that.
Now,
Or you
as
could just wear your natural hair and stop being silly.
yes, there's that too.
Yeah.
But
even bald guys that are losing their hair is like, listen, if you want to go get like a hair transplant, because those surgeries
Turkey.
go to Turkey. Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone's going to Turkey to get
Yeah,
hair
just
transplant.
watched this thing out the other day. Yeah.
Yeah, I watch so many guys that go to this one
Yep.
clinic and get it done. And hey, that's just like boosting your hair's natural stuff to get it growing. If you want to do that, be my guest. But if you're that guy and you're wearing a wig or a toupee because you're in bed, dude,
Just
get
go
over
bald.
it. Shave your
Just
head.
go bald. Yeah.
Don't be a fruit.
I
Shave
would.
your head.
I'd just go bald. Wouldn't bother me that much.
Now,
I think every man should shave their head at least once before they go bald, just to look death in the eye. This is where you're going.
Do it while you're young, because when you do it when you're older, it takes a little longer for that to grow back.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody can see those rocks and knots and things.
so you don't think you should have the hair on the sides?
Definitely not.
Not allowed.
Not.
I mean,
allowed.
it's a pretty popular thing amongst
you're a
the
monk.
elder.
Yeah, but I
Friar
think.
tuck.
But at that point, what is the point of it at that juncture?
You're holding on to something that ain't there no more.
Yeah,
Chasing.
No,
the
it's there. It's just not that much.
it's
Do
kind of
women find that? I'd love to find any woman that goes, I like a man with just a little hair.
Well, actually,
Just
I
look
think
around the
what it is like if you still are growing hair there, it's
Yeah.
a pain in the butt to shave every day,
Mhm.
your entire head.
Wax it.
Oh, that's probably
lays it,
painful.
or for God's sakes, just don't be a weenie. And it takes what 10 minutes?
How about this? We got 3 folks on the line. We got a 30-second break here. We'll come back. And actually, before I hit the break, apparently this is happening on the other side of the Congress. This is in the United States Senate, where people are wondering whatever happened to Kamala Harris. Well, here she is swearing in new senators, and apparently J.D.
Do you solemnly
Vance
swear that you will support
starts
and
laughing.
defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that you take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation
Look how
or
uncomfortable they
purpose
are.
of evasion, and that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which you are about to enter, so help you God.
Yeah, J.D. Vance is quite happy in that moment.
As a pig in
Yeah,
duty,
buddy.
as they would say.
We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Before you buy new floors at a discount store and get them installed by the cousin of a friend who does this kind of thing, consider the better option. Prattville Carpet carries the most reputable brands for selection, style, and quality you can trust. And with their non-transferable lifetime installation warranty, you'll never have to worry about hardwood warping or carpet buckling. Your floors will stay as beautiful as the day they installed them.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measure. Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the Afternoon. For those of you who missed it, I highly encourage you to go to my X page, at the Joey Clark on X.com or the X app.
Yeah.
Because we have put up together, because of all the accomplishments being cited by state agencies around the great state of Alabama, we put together the many faces of Kay Ivey. I mean, which is y'all's favorite?
300 for me.
Her defending the Roman Republic?
That one just fits. That and the SWAT pick.
I'm the bear. I like the bear.
You like the bear?
I like the bear. She's got that kung fu outfit on.
I think my favorite is her slaying the dragon.
I'm trying to get for the past 10 minutes, I've tried to get a picture of Alabama Governor Kay Ivey killing the Dark Lord Sauron with a sword, and I can't get it.
Oh, man.
It's not doing it.
Maybe put in feed Grok some real photos of Kay Ivey and photos of Sauron and then say that.
No, I mean, it's like they're pulling up very good pictures of Sauron and Kay Ivey, just none of her plunging the sword.
Oh, man.
Through his
what about
dark
cutting
chest.
the ring off his finger?
You know what? I knew we were friends for a reason.
The SWAT photo, though, we've got it up on the stream right now. That goes hard. Yeah. That might be the hardest photo of the year right there.
I think we need Grok needs to make a rap song and to put behind that.
Yes.
And then maybe if we can get like the AI motion where they're walking and it's just like Here Comes the Boom by Nelly.
Ooh, I like that.
Well, y'all go check that out. Again, it's the many faces of Kay Ivey.
I could do this all day.
The zipline one is pretty great.
It's great.
She's just so happy in that moment.
But like that's a terrible zipline. Like
Yeah,
you
that
would
does
fall
not look very
right
safe.
out. That's why I said it looked like one of the old Al Qaeda
It really
training
does.
zip lines.
That's not a zip line. It's just a strap.
Or as what did Shane Gillis call him, the monkey bar guy?
Yeah. You remember those videos like they were? They're so threatening. Look how they go across the monkey.
And then
bar
they're talking
so fast.
about then it's like how they're streaming the Ukraine war right now. It's like you can just stream it. And I saw that clip, and then directly yesterday that one clip went viral. I don't know if you saw it of the knife fight between the Russian and the Ukrainian.
No,
brutal.
I didn't see it.
I really wouldn't recommend it. It's brutal.
I can't believe it's still up. If it's still up,
brutal.
I saw a zipline video where it's a father-daughter. The daughter's in front going first on the zipline, and it's thick jungle. So it's a beautiful zipline. At first, you're like, oh, this is just a cool nature video, like father-daughter moment. Then all of a sudden, you see the daughter, like, in front of him, stop, like, jerk stop. And I'm like, what is that? And you see she ran into a sloth.
Oh. I thought her hair got caught. Oh.
No, a sloth was climbing slowly on the zip line, and so she, at full speed, rams into the sloth, and the sloth sort of like raises its arm for a second and then just keeps on trucking.
Wow.
And luckily it looked like they're okay, but you're like, man.
The funniest one I've seen is it's a girl doing a selfie, and she's like, me and my boyfriend are loving the zip line, and he's like one zip line over. And you see this dude unconscious come flying by her. He doesn't pass out.
Gosh.
Literally.
Yeah, doing the zip line drunk is not a good idea.
Dude,
not a good
zip
idea
lines are freaky, dude.
Yeah, and the fact that people do them in third world countries cracked me up because I'm like, what are you thinking? What are you thinking?
Yeah. I'd like to say things, but I've done so many bad things.
Yeah, me too. I was in my
third world
20s
countries that I shouldn't have done.
Yeah.
272.
Going to on a roller coaster in China, it's kind of spooky.
That doesn't sound like the safest idea, but I would be right there with you. Let's go.
And there's and they built the entire park in like 3 months. It was so fast.
The concrete ain't even dry.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's not safe. That's not safe. Hey, this part of the program brought to you by Invista Advisors. Normally we talk to Austin Branco, but I think he is busy right
Yes,
now,
sir.
which is always a good problem to have. But they're at Invista Advisors, excuse me. I can't talk today. I don't know what the deal is.
Swollen tongue?
Something like that. But they have this sort of all of the above multidisciplinary approach when it comes to protecting and managing your wealth. So it's not just about, oh, here's like a good investment strategy. They're also looking at long-term insurance. They're looking for ways for you to manage risk. Maybe you're running a business and you want some advice on business consulting. They can, of course, help you in that regard. They really do all of the above. So you're talking about institutions that need to preserve their wealth, that need to manage their risk, that need to make sure the family's all set up as you're kind of heading out the door. That's the worst thing. I don't know if y'all have seen that in your own lives, where somebody dies in the family and the person who dies did not have sort of the end of the life stuff set up.
Right.
That's just a nightmare, especially if you are doing quite well, if you have built up wealth to give over to your folks, to your family. You don't want a big mess. You want to do it the right way. So call them up today, 387-0094. That's 387-0094. Or you can always go to vistaadvisors.com. Austin Baranco, Brant McDonald, the whole team there are ready to help you out. Again, managing that long-term wealth, managing risk, setting you up to, whole of life. You're prepared to protect you, your family, and your finances. And be sure to tell the folks there in Vista that Joey, that fellow on the radio, sent you. Got to hit this top of the hour break. Eventually, we'll see if Mike Johnson he's too short. He's 2 votes short of becoming the next Speaker of the House or maintaining his speakership. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. The House speakership vote is underway. Well, Louisiana Republican Mike Johnson has the support of President-elect Donald Trump. It will be the House Republicans who will decide whether to re-elect him to his post as Speaker of the House. All right, Republicans have at times grown frustrated with Johnson's leadership and are prone to demanding concessions when their votes become essential. President Biden rejecting the nearly $15 billion proposed deal for Nippon Steel of Japan to purchase Pittsburgh-based U.S. Steel. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says President-elect Donald Trump is strong and unpredictable, and those qualities can be a decisive factor in his policy approach to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The Dow adding 289 points, the Nasdaq up 288. This is SRN News.
You know, as they say, one person's personal information is another person's treasure.
Exactly. That's why I use NordVPN every time I surf the web. Features like Threat Protection Pro's safeguard devices from phishing websites and disable intrusive ads and trackers. Just check NordVPN.com, grab the deal, and see for yourself. NordVPN. Cybersecurity built for every day.
Attention American homeowners, you're under attack. Your home and equity could be vulnerable to cyber thieves. There's only one company that completely stops them, and that company is Equity Protect. Equity Protect prevents any attempts to steal your home, equity, and ownership 24/7. Get your free risk report today by texting the word HOME to 94878. That's right, text the word HOME to 94878 to get your free risk report. Keep your equity and legacy safe with Equity.
Rich Thomas weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where over-the-road dump truck drivers are needed right now. Home twice a week and every weekend. Must leave early on Sunday with Blue Cross Blue Shield. Call them now at 855-777-9785.
There are various shots of Arctic air in our future over the next multi-day period. Today, sunshine. Winds will be a factor, I think, by later on this afternoon, gusting up to 20. Today's high temperature up to about 57 with sunshine. Tonight, clear, cold, overnight low 29. Saturday's high struggles to reach 50, brisk with sunshine. Sunday, a little recovery with a high temperature up to about 64 ahead of the next cold front. Showers and thunderstorms a good bet out ahead of the next front, ending by early Monday, followed by a big Arctic plunge. Very cold, windy with a high near 50 on Monday, and then mid-20s on Monday night. Wind chill will be a factor, and that's just the start of our Arctic invasion. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. Lawmakers have approved a $6 million contract with the Department of Human Resources to crack down on stolen EBT card benefits. The funding will go towards implementing security improvements with EBT accounts, including chipped cards. More than 16,000 people in Alabama have filed theft of EBT benefit claims since September. Auburn University in Montgomery has received a $400,000 grant from the National Science Foundation. AUM plans to use the funds to enhance its AI infrastructure and expand its curriculum and research to meet the growing demand for AI expertise. Auburn University in Montgomery continues to build a strong foundation in AI research. Jalen Milroe's time as Alabama's starting quarterback has officially come to an end as he declared for the 2025 NFL Draft on Thursday. Jalen Milroe played for the Tide from 2021 through 24 and spent the last 2 seasons as the full-time starter at quarterback. The Crimson Tide finished a disappointing season this year at 9-4. Jalen Milroe ends his career at Alabama with a 21-6 record as a starting quarterback. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Adams Drugs has been committed to the health care of the people of the River Region for over 62 years. We value the trust each customer has in our pharmacists, techs, and entire staff. If you have not experienced the difference of Adams Drugs and are not satisfied with the customer service that you get in the big box stores, we invite you to visit any of our locations and see how committed we are to your satisfaction. Adams Drugs offers a variety of services that you will not find in all pharmacies in the River Region. Personalized compounding, area-wide delivery, wellness screenings, immunizations, medication consultations, and specialized packaging, just to name a few. Visit us at our website, adamsdrugs.net, and find the location nearest you. Adams Drugs has 12 convenient locations to serve you. Your satisfaction is our #1 goal. Adams Drugs is your local Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Is cocaine a stronger up?
Yeah. Cocaine
So you're way up with cocaine more than anything else you can think of.
Cocaine will turn you into a damn owl, homie. You know what I'm saying?
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the Afternoon. I'm Joey. That's Eddie right over there. Craig Monger shall return. So, again, it looks like it was Thomas Massey, who we knew,
right,
would not be voting for Mike Johnson.
Kind of put it out there, didn't he?
And Ralph Norman of South Carolina, you said?
Mm-hmm. Born in Rock Hill, South Carolina.
So that's ongoing. Now, switching gears here. Biden. This story just came out yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
In its final weeks, Biden reportedly considered striking Iran's nuclear facilities if Tehran moves closer to building a bomb. Because of what's a better farewell than a potential new war?
Right.
And when they say Biden was considering it, really?
No, you're not.
Some aides think it's the perfect time since Iran's defenses and proxies are weakened. Others warn it might leave a global crisis gift wrap for the Trump administration. No kidding. Meanwhile, Iran insists its nuclear program is just for civilian purposes.
No, they're lying.
But intelligence paints a far sketchier picture. Wow. And the source is Axios. So somebody within the Beltway, somebody within probably the White House leaked this out. Maybe it was to get ahead of it and say, don't even think
try
about
to stop it.
Yeah. That's just, that's too much. We do not need to go in that direction. But Biden is back from vacation.
Darn.
And he returned with unexplained injuries.
Where did he go on vacation?
St. Croix? What is it?
St. Croix?
St. Croix?
Yeah,
Where is that?
in the Caribbean. He just fell on the beach. That's all.
It was 5 days there. He had a
beautiful.
He's spending New Year's Eve at his home in Wilmington, Delaware. Next, he went to Camp David on New Year's Day. His son Hunter was also on vacation with him.
I bet he was.
We pull it off. Even with the 2 attacks in Vegas and New Orleans, Biden didn't come back to Washington on Wednesday, although he did make some brief remarks from Camp David. Didn't take any questions. On Thursday, Biden finally arrived back at the White House with his wife as well as Hunter's wife, and their son, Beau. Newsmax's James Rosen had some questions about Biden's remarks at Camp David, and more exactly, why he was slurring even more than usual for him, and why he had apparent injuries on his face.
Probably weaning him off the drugs they've had him on.
Including a cut around his lip and an apparent bruise on his chin. Yeah, and I'm looking at it now, and it doesn't look good. You're thinking he fell on the beach?
Being nice.
Oh, you're being nice.
Yeah.
Remember when Harry Reid had that attack from gym equipment?
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, nice.
Yeah, being
someone
nice.
who was being very nice.
Uh-huh. Right. But Biden did do a good thing, blocking U.S. Steel's sale to Nippon Steel.
That surprised me, and I guess I read yesterday that he had been against it the whole time. I did not know he was against it. I never knew he was against it.
They didn't make those sorts of things clear.
Yeah.
Now, you remember how for years it started with Obama, they pushed it under Biden. They wanted to regulate internet service providers like their utility companies under so-called net neutrality rules.
Yep.
Well, it's been shattered. Obama's dream of extending federal control over online delivery is a final stake driven through its heart by the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals on Thursday. Writing for a unanimous panel, Circuit Judge Richard Griffin, a W. Bush appointee, ruled that the Federal Communications Commission had no legal authority to regulate internet broadband companies, saying the FCC lacks the statutory authority to impose its desired net neutrality policies
There you go.
through the Telecommunications Services provision of the Communications Act. Net neutrality has always been much more about FCC power and a power grab as the reasons for its existence, regulating the electromagnetic spectrum, and became less important with the advent of internet broadband services. The FCC cloaked its search for continued relevance in the guise of protecting consumers from nefarious corporate schemes to stifle available content. But that seems to be done. So good riddance there.
Who protects us from these government schemes, Joey?
Right. Well, and half the time it's the government's just a corporate interest gallivanting around pretending to be in the public interest.
But look at all the money that was spent doing that. So was it just a big grift in the end?
Right. Also, just kind of keeping you up to date on what's been going on. Liz Cheney.
How is old Liz?
She got that award, you know. She was given that like presidential citizen medal. It's like the highest reward a citizen can get.
Yeah, I never even heard of it. But yeah, okay.
But Liz Cheney apparently got like a raucous ovation, and people really embraced her as Biden announced her winning this medal. So let's tune in. This is the final days of the Biden White House, folks.
Elizabeth L. Cheney for putting the American people over party.
What?
Traitor award.
Man, he does not look good, dude.
No.
Okay, how long are they going to applaud for
Kind of
this
looks like the
picture?
chick off Parks and Rec.
Looks like what?
Chick off Parks and Rec. that famous
Yeah,
chick.
Leslie Knope.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And looks like she's wanting that award, but he just won't give it up.
Yeah, he's like, no, hold my hand. Hold my hand. And the reason was for putting the people over party?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, didn't she just pick one party over another?
Or just the establishment over the people?
Well, that's essentially what she did, but she just threw out one party for another party.
So it's very sad, these waning days of the Biden White House.
I kind of like it because these are,
well, yeah.
like, this is her gold watch, get the heck out of here kind of thing. We're done with you.
Let's go
For
to
most
the
of these.
phones. You're on there. Who's this?
Soldier Boy.
Hey, Soldier Boy, what's up?
I think I've cleared and I've investigated without the FBI involved or any intelligence what's happened to Joe Biden's face and what happened is damage to him.
How did it happen?
I think him and his wife had a little bit of wild sex went wrong.
Oh my! Oh.
Yeah. Now remember where the damage was done. We know who was running the show. You know, with the whip and the what do you call that horse that she was handling it. She's the one. That's the reason why.
Man, are you already in your cups today? Like, did you have the day off or something?
Yeah, absolutely. Why?
I'm just saying. I don't want to see what you're asking Grok to make images of. I don't want to see this at all. You're a
problem here.
What's the problem?
Excuse me for having a couple days off.
Enjoy your days off, brother. Don't let everybody ever try to take it from you.
Why should I have to apologize to Joey for that? Joey, you feel like you hit me below the waist and I didn't have underwear on.
It's just, you came out of the gate going, I know you got it, wild sex, and blah, 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 you know who's in charge. I'm like, whoa, man.
Well, let's think about, when I was over Desert Show's Desert Storm, you know who had the contract for all that and made all the billions and billions of people dying?
Her daddy.
That was Halliburton.
That was her daddy, yeah.
Who owns it? Yeah, who owns Halliburton? Hey.
The guy that'll blow your face off.
We want to thank for her father sending all those young troops under the age of 25 to their death.
Yep.
See, they don't want to talk about it. It's like sugarcoat that crap. It's like when you ever watch the Academy Awards and all these award shows.
Mm-hmm.
These are just a bunch of people trying to pat themselves on the back.
Of course.
That's all it is. I mean, come on. Can she really wear that medal with sincerity? Good God.
No, so much of it is fake. It really is. And the beautiful thing is now folks kind of see through it. Not enough, in my humble opinion, but a lot of folks see through this crap.
Yeah, you see his awards all the time, and I'm like, all right.
Man, Thomas Massey's rocking a 5 o'clock shadow, looking like a boss over there. What the heck is that?
Mike Shelton.
I hadn't seen him.
One thing I like. Did you watch the Notre Dame game?
The Notre Dame game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did.
I liked at the end. I liked that the quarterback and another player on the team both thanked the Lord Jesus Christ for their ability and success.
Yep.
And I said to myself, boy, I bet those progressive are gringing their teeth when they say that.
Well, they look great. They kind of dominated Georgia the whole game.
They really did. Surprised me.
They did. Yeah, I bet on the game straight up too. And everybody's like, all these Georgia fans straight up. I was like, yeah. But I said, I just think they're a better team all around. And I think the next team is going to beat them. I think Penn. You know what? Everybody's thinking Ohio State. I think Penn State's going to win it all.
Tell you, Ohio State just looked really good. They looked real aggressive. Kind of best they looked all year.
Yeah, but more balanced to me is Penn State.
Yeah.
I think Penn State's going to win it.
Good.
They're starting to peak right at the right time. They look good. They're strong all around, and I love their coach. Hey, what did you think about that play last night? You're ready like going to kick the ball or something, and you take everybody off the field?
Oh, yeah.
That freaked them out.
Hey, what about the guy on the sideline getting hit by the ref, getting a penalty? I think he's a walk-on.
I didn't see that.
Oh, yeah. That guy, he's never going to live that down.
Never.
Ever.
15-yarder.
Yeah, he was wearing a jersey, but he wasn't even in pads. And he's running down the sideline with that huge play, and he runs into the ref, so they called the playback.
Yep.
Calling sideline interference.
Yep.
Like, that's insane.
Yeah, he'll never live that down.
And you could see the look on his face. You could see him processing it. Like, oh, no, this is going to follow me for the rest of my life.
Yeah. I'm never going to be able to go. I'm never going to be able to go to a bar or anywhere and get a drink without somebody reminding me of this shit.
Yep.
Well, I appreciate the calls.
Right,
see you, Soldier Boy. If Georgia would have won, maybe things would have been forgotten. But I don't think things are going to be easily forgotten for him on this one.
No, let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's this?
Poison Ivy.
Hey, Poison
Ivy.
Governor herself. Well, how y'all doing?
Good.
Wonderful.
Good.
Well, when you last left me, you know, she had sent me off to the McAllister family over on Choctaw Ridge. Well, y'all, I figured out how to get back in her good graces. I thought up a program that made her look really excellent to help her out. I called it Grandma. Gratuitous rallying accolades needed determining money allocation selection. And this was about tweets that all the department heads had to send out in order to, you know, whoever did it the best got the most money. Well, I may have to go back to Choctaw Ridge because, well, Craig's there. He kind of broke the story, and she's mad as she can be again now. Y'all have a nice day.
Thank you, boys.
Thank you, Poison Ivy.
It sounds hauntingly like my grandmother. Hauntingly.
And again, folks, if you want to go to my X page on @thejoeyclark, you can see the many faces of Kay Ivey and all the great things she may or may not have accomplished this past year, according to Grok. Oh no, Kamala! No, say it ain't so, Kamala. How do you screw up the Pledge of Allegiance? What?
Please join me in pledging allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the United States of America.
My God.
Everybody's drunk today.
Hey, somebody pre-gamed a little too hard.
Dude.
I gotta see this again.
Watch her like the wobble.
Yeah.
She wobbles.
Allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You know, when you get drinking, you put that head back a little bit of ways, the kind of gravity gets you.
I pledge allegiance to the United States of America.
Right. That's all I got.
And to the Republicans for which they suck. They ruined everything. Get out.
See, if she had literally been drunk at the DNC and done more like a Bluto style speech, I think she might have been able to pull this thing off. Like, just be in your cups there, Kamala.
You know, Donald Trump says that I'm like Indian, but he's fat. Have you ever noticed? He's like a real fat guy. Like, I would have voted for her at that point.
Oh yeah, if he just started getting
fire
like,
with fire. You go, Queen.
nasty wine ant humor, like I think it could have worked.
Just like where she flicks her palm all on the carpet, and calls you a racial epithet. Yeah, that's who people want to vote for. That's the kind of strength we need in the White House.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
And
Hey,
drunk
this part of the program, drunk ant energy. This part of the program brought to you by Sweet Creek Farm Market, and there at Sweet Creek, go find Reed Ingram and just tell him I love this place, because you are going to love it.
Oh,
It's
no
just
doubt.
2 miles south of Taylor Road on Highway 231, and it's a big old property. Beautiful, like open market, and then you can go indoors if you're looking for some warmth and get a warm coffee or cocoa at their award-winning cafe.
Right.
Maybe get a delicious sandwich for lunch. And of course, they have fresh baked like cookies, like bigger than your face.
Big old hubcap cookies.
Hubcap cookies. And you're partial to the swamp cookie.
That's right, because they got everything in it, Joey.
I like the peanut butter cookies too.
can't
I
go
like
wrong. You can't
I like
go wrong with
all of
peanut butter
them.
either.
And the layer cakes, you know how we're big fans of cake.
Yeah, because you get a little bit of cake, there's some more icing. You get some more cake, there's some more icing.
Right. Like a layered caramel cake.
Oh, Joey, make my mouth water.
They do such a good job when it comes to those baked goods there at Sweet Creek. So again, whether you're looking for a coffee, and that's a great idea, by the way, especially moms out there. If you're looking for a place where the kids can play and be free, they have a huge playground area, little chickens and other farm animals running around. It's just really a great atmosphere. If you want the kids to get some energy out on a Saturday, say midday or morning, just take them out there to Sweet Creek, enjoy yourself. And of course, you're going to end up buying something because there's so many unique, hard to find little items there at Sweet Creek. Alabama made stuff. So those really hard to find like jams and jellies that you used to know
Mint jams.
that hadn't been around in a while. So check them out today. You can always go to Facebook, and I encourage you to go like Sweet Creek on Facebook to follow all the great events they have going on and upcoming. But of course, stop by there. Again, just 2 miles south of Taylor Road on Highway 231. Find Rita Ingram or Karen Ingram and say, hey, that Joey fellow on the radio sent you. Something like that. Now, this story, I just want to read this.
Okay.
This is kind of a summary of the congressional report that just came out, saying Congress just released bombshell findings on the January 6th pipe bomb investigation, revealing that the FBI engaged in a massive cover-up. The committee determined that, quote, there is conflicting information as to whether the FBI received, quote unquote, corrupted cellular data from the major cell carriers. A former senior FBI official testified that the major cell carrier companies provided corrupted cell data to the FBI and suggested that the corrupted data may have contained the identity of the pipe bomber. However, in response to letters from the subcommittee, the major cell carriers confirmed that they did not provide corrupted data to the FBI, and that the FBI never notified them of any issues with accessing the cellular data. After more than 1,400 days since 2 pipe bombs were placed on Capitol Hill, the FBI has made no arrest and has charged no individuals with planting the explosive devices. Since its initial progress in the early weeks and months of the investigation, there has been little meaningful progress toward the apprehension of the suspect. That's a direct quote from the congressional findings. So you mean to tell us that they were able to track down and arrest hundreds of January 6 folks, J6ers, mere days after January 6 went down, but they still can't get their hands on the actual terrorists who endangered the entire government? Just doesn't add up. It really doesn't add up.
Nope.
According to the committee, the FBI identified multiple persons of interest during the initial weeks and months of the investigation, yet somehow still failed to identify the suspect. They also refused to provide the subcommittee with additional information about these investigative leads. Additionally, they found major law enforcement failures surrounding the incident. Failed to identify one of the devices during security sweeps at the DNC, failed to properly secure and maintain a perimeter around the pipe bombs despite multiple orders to do so, allowing pedestrians and vehicular traffic to cross within feet of the explosive devices, allowed the motorcade of the Speaker of the House of Representatives to drive through an active bomb scene, risking the safety of the Speaker, allowed commuter trains to continue crossing a bridge next to the DNC, placing civilians within close proximity to one of the viable devices, and transmitted inaccurate information over radio channels, resulting in civilians and law enforcement units breaching the security perimeter. No one with a functioning brain believes that many failures can happen simultaneously. It really is. It's just like the first assassination attempt of Trump. It's like, these aren't failure.
Yeah.
This is such abject failure suggests like such incompetence actually seems like there's malice involved and intent involved. So are we ever going to get to the bottom of this?
Nope. After 4 years, yeah, we found him now.
Yeah. Well, maybe, just maybe, we have a new director of the FBI named Kash Patel.
Kash Patel.
And if I was Kash, I would fire everybody. Seriously,
Me too.
like fire everybody around you that has to, and then bring up your own people. And this is the beauty of Kash Patel having worked in so many of these different gigs now, and worked with the DOJ, worked in the intelligence community, investigated the intelligence community with Nunes when all the Trump spying Russiagate stuff was going on. I think Patel knows not just because everybody's focused on his list of the deep staters. I think Patel has another list. I'm speculating here. He has another list of the folks that are the good guys that are actually ready to play ball. And I think there are many. We often think of this government as a monolith, this Leviathan where everybody in it's bad. Not the case. Very often in these 3-letter agencies, you have competing cliques or competing theories on what should actually be done with that power. And if you're Kash Patel coming in, you go find those folks who are ambitious still, but who are ready to sing and sing and sing again about the malfeasance of the FBI in the last few years. Because this is one where if you could get answers to just the assassination attempt on Trump, to just this pipe bomb thing, and maybe reveal so many other things the FBI has dropped the ball on, then you could actually start to rebuild. But I don't want to just like, oh, nothing to see here, move on. We just got the right guy in place. What is going to be the actual changes that you make? They need to be swift, and they need to be immense. 272-9228. Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Papa B.
Hey, Papa B.
Hey, guys. interesting show today, but, you know, right up my alley about what I've been talking about in the last few days. This bomber suspect looks like, based on some reports, that they may have been known by the Capitol Police there because, according to what I read, that, you know, they waved at him, her, they, she, he waved back. 5'7", interesting. There was a report I saw that the shoes were of interest because they got shoes on camera. But look, let's just not kid each other. They know who it is.
Yes.
They know who it is. They know who it is. And anybody that would plant bombs like that can only be seen as an enemy of the state. However, if you're dealing with the FBI or CIA or all these other outfits that they both, they probably call them an asset. And so that's the reason they're not being disclosed, in my humble opinion. They got cameras everywhere. They know what car they got in, the license plates, the time they went everywhere. There's no place in the world that's more, got more cameras probably than Washington D.C. I would imagine. So yeah, this is not a mystery to people that know and probably should go ahead and disclose. I find it interesting that another report I read, who knows what these reports are right or not, but a vast number of FBI agents are retiring early, quickly, before Trump gets in, I guess in hopes that they will not be prosecuted for their many sins. I don't think they're going to escape the wheels of justice, though. And, of course, that leads us down another little rabbit hole. The wheels of justice have been clogged up and stopped altogether when it comes to some people, but spread really quickly when it comes to others. I don't know whether or not it's going to matter. So, yeah, you're right. Castile, Pam Bondi, should they get them confirmed, and I believe they will, they've got their hands full, and I think you're exactly right. These people cannot be trusted anymore at the realm, at the levers of power. I told the last show that according to Julian Assange's post, he had concluded that the CIA created freaking ISIS. If it's that bad, then what you also know, they probably created Al Qaeda. They probably their foot soldiers are Antifa and BLM and MS-13 and all of these illegals that have flooded into the country. And they're not going to go quietly. They are going to reign in chaos as long as they possibly can. What do you think? What do y'all think about all that?
I mean, big claims that I think the more we learn are not that implausible. I would say it's always more complicated when you say the created ISIS, created Al Qaeda. It's more like there are organic elements that exist that are real that maybe the United States encourages or uses for a particular purpose.
How about fostered?
Yeah.
With that?
Yeah, no, and I think that's more on board with my thinking. Yes. I think there's a lot of that stuff that goes.
What would be the vast difference? Not much.
No.
Because ruination, chaos, killing, whether you die of somebody that actually created something or fostered something, it's the same. Same thing.
We got breaking news, Papa B. It looks like somebody changed their vote, and it looks like Mike Johnson.
Because there were 3 others. Now there's only 1.
Wow.
2 people changed.
We had 2 people changed.
Okay.
Somebody made a deal last second, so they're not even going to have to move on to a second ballot.
They were doing some walking and talking.
Awesome. Well, there you go. I mean, I imagine Trump being like that jailer. I've used this analogy before on Shawshank Redemption. After killing that guy for whining and complaining, standing up there with a club and saying, "I swear by God and Son of Jesus, if I so much as hear a mouse fart in this place, you will all visit the infirmary tonight." Something like that with Trump. Just the fact that he's like endorse Mike Johnson and anybody else is going to, say anything different. Wow, that would be a hubris beyond I can't imagine. That one guy, though, that said they can pull out my fingernails, run bamboo shoots.
Thomas Massey.
I don't know if I'd want to be him in any kind of deal making in the future. What do y'all think?
It's tough to negotiate.
I think Thomas Massey's like one of the few guys that actually is principled, and when he votes no, when everybody votes yes, I tend to respect the man.
Yeah.
And he's been consistent
Politics.
for years and years and years now.
Nothing new there.
In the end, politics is the art of the possible. I don't like it, but you know what? Sooner or later, you got to come to terms with, look, I'll take a half a loaf of bread as opposed to no bread at all. In some cases. Now, there are hills to die on, I agree. But is that one to die on? I don't think so. Anyway, all right, guys, interesting show as usual. Enjoying it. Y'all have a great day and a great weekend, okay?
Appreciate it,
Thank you,
Papa
Papa
B.
B.
Yeah, and him mentioning Trump 14 hours ago on X said, in all caps, Trump himself tweeted, "Trump was right about everything." I'm like, I kind of want to grok that and be like, what is he even talking about? Just everything?
I love it when he's
Everything.
I love it when Trump talks about Trump in the third person.
Right. Yeah, I know. Trump was right about everything.
Trump is great. Trump ate 4 filet-o-fishes. Trump is full of energy.
There used to be a ball player. I think it was Ricky Henderson that talked about himself in the third person. Like he would get on, and he was He would get on first base, and there was a story of a guy playing first base, and Ricky's telling him, "Ricky's fixed to steal." He's like, "What? Ricky's fixed to steal." And so sure enough, Ricky stole the bag, and one got safe. At second place, he turned around and he said, "I told you what Ricky was going to do. I told you."
But it is now official. He's getting all the standing ovation. Mike Johnson elected House Speaker on first ballot. So business can now continue and commence quickly.
As usual.
We'll see. They're about to do some big retreat, the Republicans are, on Saturday, tomorrow, where they're going over Senate and House Republicans, going over what they can do quickly through reconciliation, especially with the focus on energy, taxes, a few other issues.
How much is that retreat going to cost us?
Yeah, you got it. Well, no, they've got some corporate donor for that one.
Yeah.
Oh, so how much is that retreat going to cost us in blood?
Right. Well, that's some questions you don't want the answer to, big boy. You sure you want to ask that?
You're probably right.
Welcome. Raytheon would like to welcome you to this luncheon.
Got to hit this break first as part of the program. In fact, the entire hour brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon are ready to help you with, buying a home here in the new year. Go ahead and get pre-approved.
Oh, yeah.
Call them up right now. Start the conversation. And once you're pre-approved, you'll know how much house you can afford, what you're actually in for in the market. So when you go house shopping, you're ready to go. And there's a lot of sellers that won't even consider you if you haven't gotten pre-approved.
A lot of the offers that realtors put out there will say flat out, if you're going to turn in an offer, that's great, but make sure you got a pre-approval letter attached to it.
And Kim and Madeline can walk with you every step of the way from pre-approval all the way to closing day. And it can be things like the appraisals, inspections. Like there's a lot of things if you've never gone through the process of buying a home that they can really help you out with and guide you through. And of course, a lot of folks at this time of year are looking to refinance. Especially, weren't you saying there are a lot of people like, I'm waiting till Trump is actually sworn in?
I swear there were people that was waiting for Trump to win, and then when he won, a portion of them people turned into, I'm waiting for him to actually get into the White House.
Well, I get why they feel like, twice bitten in one shot.
Going on, yeah.
But you might as well, even if you don't want to pull the trigger till after the 20th, you might as well start the conversation with Kim and Madeline there at Alabama Home Mortgage and let them get to know you, your goals in refinancing your home, whether you're getting credit card debt off your back or you're reinvesting in yourself, your property, your family. So check them out today. Call them at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies like Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 special. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
There are various shots of Arctic air in our future over the next multi-day period. Today, sunshine. Winds will be a factor, I think, by later on this afternoon, gusting up to 20. Today's high temperature up to about 57 with sunshine. Tonight, clear, cold, overnight low 29. Saturday's high struggles to reach 50. Brisk with sunshine. Sunday, a little recovery with a high temperature up to about 64 ahead of the next cold front. Showers and thunderstorms a good bit out ahead of the next front, ending by early Monday, followed by a big Arctic plunge. Very cold, windy with a high near 50 on Monday, and then mid-20s on Monday night. Wind chill will be a factor, and that's just the start of our Arctic invasion. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More is your low price leader for everything you need for flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies. For the best prices on luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, flooring installation supplies, and more, shop Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey to Publix.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. So the United States Surgeon General, do y'all often make your health decisions based on what the Surgeon General suggests?
Never once. With the no on that.
Never once. Well, they've come out with something that seems a little obvious.
Yeah.
Today, United States Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy released a new Surgeon General's advisory on alcohol and cancer risk, which in part says, quote, alcohol is a well-established preventable cause of cancer, responsible for about 100,000 cases of cancer and 20,000 cancer deaths annually in the United States, greater than the 13,500 alcohol-associated traffic crash fatalities per year in the U.S. Yet the majority of Americans are unaware of this risk. Wait, weren't Americans like drunker than sin at the turn of the 20th century? I guess they just didn't live long enough for even the cancers to be presented or weren't tracking it. But are we surprised at all that there is a link between alcohol consumption and cancer?
No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
But 7 types of cancer, including breast, colorectal, esophagus, liver, mouth, throat, and voice box, regardless of type of alcohol. Huh. Well, that's a shame. That's an absolute shame. So, everybody going to stop drinking now?
No.
No, people just going to keep
I might
on going?
start drinking again after this news.
Yeah? Just to spite them?
Just to spite them.
Just to spite them. And then now the crazy story we mentioned, keeping with the cancer theme, from the Daily Mail. Surgeon catches cancer from patient.
That is so wild.
And first of its kind case. A doctor operating on a cancer patient accidentally transplanted the disease into himself. A 32-year-old man from Germany
Germany
has been diagnosed with a rare type of cancer and was having a tumor removed from his abdomen. While in surgery, the doctor performing the procedure accidentally cut his hand, but the wound was disinfected and bandaged immediately. However, 5 months later, the 53-year-old surgeon noticed a small lump developing where he had injured himself months earlier and sought care. The lump turned out to be a malignant tumor, and tests showed it was genetically identical to the cancer suffered by his former patient. Holy crap. I didn't know that was a real thing.
I had no idea.
This led the medical team who treated him to conclude he had caught the cancer when tumor cells entered the cut on his hand. Authors of the case report called this an usual situation because it's in a traditional transplant, the body mounts an immune response and rejects any foreign tissues, and they would have expected the same in the doctor's case. However, given the tumor's development and growth, it suggests the surgeon's body had an ineffective anti-tumor immune response. You think? While the case was originally reported in 1996, it has resurfaced with renewed interest. Published in the New England Journal of Medicine, doctors detailed the accidental transplantation of the patient's malignant fibrosis histiocytoma, a rare type of cancer that forms in soft tissues with just 1,400 diagnoses a year. The doctor injured the palm of his left hand when trying to place a drain in his patient. While performing surgery, removed the cancer from the patient's abdomen. The wound was immediately disinfected and bandaged. It was a hard 1.2-inch tumor-like swelling that appeared at the base of the doctor's left middle finger. Okay, that's just freaky stuff.
So weird, dude.
That is so freaky. Well, and we still don't know. For all the presidents, for all the money spent, for all the foundations that are good cause, like, we still, I don't think, have this really figured out in many ways. Like, how does that even occur? And if it happened in 96 and they're still writing things up about it, I don't think we have an answer to these sorts of things.
There's no 5-second rule when it comes to surgery?
No, there's no 5-second rule.
I would just think that if that happened, okay, and you're doing it, you pull your hand out, disinfect, another glove goes over it, and you continue on. I would think it would happen so fast that there was no way, unless you're literally hands deep in it, there'd be any problem. I don't get it.
Well, I don't understand how it enters the bloodstream.
What I mean, off a cut that's already under a glove that you assume is under at least one pair of gloves, if not two. I don't get it.
It must have been small cells.
Yeah.
That got in there because there's something there. I mean, it's documented.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's like you said, it just shows how much we just don't understand this very prolific disease.
Yeah. I don't think we understand it at all. Even if you do stop drinking.
Yeah.
Like you don't smoke, you don't drink, you don't eat like highly processed foods. You grow your own produce. Like you raise your own chickens. Like I'd imagine you were Amish. Is there any cancer among the Amish?
Oh, that's a good question. You should ask Grok.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Is there cancer among the Amish? I can only type so fast with one finger. Okay.
It's a lower than average rate, it says.
Saying, yes, there is cancer despite the generally simpler lifestyle, lower exposure to some modern environmental toxins. The Amish population is not immune to cancer. Studies have shown that while the incidence of certain cancers might be lower in Amish communities due to their lifestyle, factors like genetics and other environmental influences still contribute to cancer rates. So essentially, I'm taking this as we don't know.
Yeah.
Like, is it environmental or is it genetic? If it's genetic, you're like, what the heck is this? Why are we seeing a massive increase in these things? And it goes to the whole making America healthy again question.
Well, I mean, the bigger and the scariest thing about it is, what if you can't? What if we have done irreversible damage to, say, our water supply, which is cyclical? It happens,
Same water.
It's the same water. What if we've done so much damage to our environment that is causing something combined with the crappy diets that Americans have. It's kind of a scary thought of the fact that we don't understand what causes it. What if we can't address it? What if it's just going to keep getting worse and worse? That's a spooky thought.
What if the best predictor of the future wasn't Orwell, wasn't Huxley, wasn't even Bradbury? It was Franz Kafka.
Ooh,
it's
yeah.
just like, we're just living in a nightmare. But
it's amazing.
Hopefully we have breakthroughs.
Kafka never gets mentioned in those conversations, I think, because it's too scary to even think about.
Because he's one of my favorite writers, and it is unnerving.
Yeah, it's very unsettling.
And it's very, he was dealing with the bureaucracy kind of in that part of the world, and I think he realized what the future would be for so many folks. And it's confusing, it's disorienting. The rules don't make any sense, and the rules seem arbitrary and pernicious in many ways. So, such is life. Maybe we'll figure it out. Maybe we'll figure out eventually that, we just had this wrong from the get-go. One of my favorite ideas is that it's not from the bottom up like materially, because you're always looking, scientists, objective empirical scientists are looking for a material basis for things. But what if, say, the way your cells form, like when you go from just an embryo to a full-born human being, that the potential of that tiny cell to actually grow into a human being suggests there is a plan that isn't found in the material itself. So if you were to grow something like when you grow back after an injury, how does your body even know to do that? Is it in the cells themselves, encoded in the DNA itself, or is actually the DNA a mechanism fulfilling something that isn't material? Is the idea.
It's very interesting.
So it would be like there's already a model of what a human being should be, or any sort of creature or organism should be, and the cells are just fulfilling that sort of programming. But the program doesn't, again, exist in the material stuff that's actually growing. Who knows? I think there have been some experiments done with like geckos on that, where they can grow multiple tails on them by changing the DNA. And that's what they're starting. It's not definitive, but they're starting to see like the material itself doesn't have the information for it to do that. Like they were able to manipulate these geckos and how they would grow in ways that just baffled them and they didn't expect. So who knows? And I'm on this kick of whether it's biology or physics, medicine or whatever else, we just don't know a lot of things. And I'm happy to live in the question, as I've said before. 272-9228. Got to hit this break. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man, Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Erdit. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. You've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it.
Now you can add the power of digital advertising to the #1 reach of radio. Let Blue Water's 20 years of local advertising and marketing success show you how. Grow your business with a complete suite of digital solutions, combined with the reach of the most listened to radio group in the river region. Call us or go to BlueWaterBroadcasting.com to find out how we can increase your return on investment. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
For more information, send an email to digital@BlueWaterBroadcasting.com.
Want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with DayQuil VapoCool. It's DayQuil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let Mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is DayQuil VapoCool.
DayQuil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Michael Cohen from Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How are y'all?
Oh, we're all right. Just trying to make it to the weekend. I'm tired of holiday mode. I wanted just a good full week next week.
What? Yeah, what is a full week?
About 15 hours on the radio. That's about it. Good call, Michael.
Man, you didn't even move up to part-time status.
Yeah, but it's like you always have homework, too. And as soon as you relax into a holiday, you're like, oh, crap, I'm not ready for that 3 hours.
Oh, that's right. I agree. I agree.
But what's the score there today at Cohen's?
Score here today is 21-7. We've had a lot of customers, and I had a guy call in today, and he says he needs a new TV to replace the old one, and ends up buying a nice Sony 77-inch OLED and Sonos soundbar and sub and rear speakers, and we're going to get that installed for him on Monday. And he tickled me. He says, "You can't do it any sooner?" I was like, "You realize today is Friday?" And he's like, "Oh, that's right. I thought it was Monday."
Holiday mode.
Yeah.
I said, I know. We've all had a week of them, but so anyway, we're going to be there at 9:00 and get them installed. And anyways, business has been great. We're very thankful for everybody. We moved out a lot of stuff, and thank God we could actually order and get a lot of stuff back in to replenish what we sold out of.
Beautiful. Yeah, I love the idea. I keep looking at your site, and you still have some of those captain chairs over there?
Yes.
Ooh, I like those things. It was comfy when I sat in it, and I'm like, man, that might be perfect. That could be my next purchase as a Cohen's customer. And of course, folks, whether you're buying great furniture there, or massage chair, or grills, or new appliances for the kitchen or the laundry room, or you want that big old TV so you can enjoy yourself in the new year, just go by Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. If you already know what you want, you can call them at 277-8890. But I really encourage you to stop by the Boulevard, 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. They're open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie, those fellows on the radio, sent you when you stop by and say hi to Michael.
That'll be great. Y'all come see us. Let us help you make the right choice.
Appreciate it.
Have a great weekend.
You too,
Be
brother.
safe.
Now, my mind is on a clip that I ran across this morning, and are y'all Curb Your Enthusiasm fans?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
You like Curb Your Enthusiasm, Eddie?
It's pretty good. I like it when, what's his name's on there, and I can't think of his name now, the black guy, funny as he can be.
Oh, J.B. Smooth.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love it when he's on
He's
there.
very, very funny.
Yeah.
But the idea that it's like some woman, I don't have the clip ready, but some woman walks up to Larry David and is like, Happy New Year. And he's like, hey, what is it? It's January the 3rd. I think it's too late. Then why does everything have to be happy? And I'm like, yep, that's how I feel at this point. After Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and Hanukkah, let's just get on with 2025, especially the politics. Because, again, this transition period seems like it's an eternity. And who knows what's going to happen in the next, 2 weeks? We got 2 weeks?
Yes.
3 weeks till Trump's
2 weeks.
actually in there?
A little over 2 weeks.
No, I mean, it's the 6th, right?
Yeah.
So that's 3 days.
No, it's the 20th is when he's sworn in.
office, all right.
The 6th is when he's certified.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I'm sorry. Jen, you see what they did to me?
Yeah.
You see what the mainstream media did to me?
How dare Liz Cheney do that? Benny Thompson working their psyops on Craig over here.
better than having her dad drone me out of existence. So,
Soon.
I don't think I had the chance, or maybe I did. Are you a resolutions guy? Or you just
No,
keep on
no,
trucking? I didn't
no.
think you were.
I plan. I have multi-year plans in my brain, and I just
Right.
go.
Right. It's more like do what you're doing, that it's good, and do it better.
Yeah.
Like just keep going through the process.
Let's say I figure out something in 2 months that I need to change. It's like I'm not going to wait till the December 31st to get it taken care of. I'm just going to address it then.
Yeah, I guess you could have a revelation on New Year's Eve.
Or you could just be, it could be like November and you know she's getting large, and
Mhm.
December you continue to get large. So you say,
Mhm.
okay, December 31st, I shall not eat nothing fat again until next year. And then on the 1st, you have some cake.
I will see. The thing is, I do like anti-New Year's resolutions, where it's like I'll intentionally start something new on December
come I can
31st
see that
or
from you?
January 3rd, just so I'm not a bandwagoning fruit.
I can so see that from
Yeah.
you.
I've
That's why I
actually
love
done
this
that
guy.
multiple
That's why I love
times.
this guy.
Yeah, no, he's great.
Yes.
Luckily my gym hasn't been too full the past couple of days, that's great.
That's normally I thought a big problem.
I typically loathe this time of year because the gym gets filled up. Although,
What happened this go round?
I don't know. Maybe I do live in a bit of a more rural area, so I'm not feeling it quite as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank God I haven't had that issue either. And I'm doing the RP strength, like
Mhm.
actual app and like real structured cycle. And I'm loving it.
Cycle. He's on the
Meso
did you hear that,
cycle.
Eddie?
Oh,
Did you hear
no.
that, Eddie?
Oh, no. He's not
on the
mad.
juice.
He's
on the juice.
Why isn't it showing?
It's
You're
hiding.
getting scammed.
It's.
I thought I could just inject it and sit on the couch.
God, you have no idea how many. Like back in the day, so many people had that story where they got that they knew a guy who knew a guy, and they ended up getting like a vial of canola oil.
No,
they said it get tested because you can buy little test strips now. They test it and there was just nothing. Just so someone took straight up just like MCT oil from Amazon, squirted it in a vial, and sold it to you for $60. And you're just sitting there, dude. I'm getting so jacked.
No, you're not. We got to hit the top of the hour break. Final hour coming up on a Friday.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
This is an SRN News special report. I'm John Scott. House Speaker vote.
It's been parliamentary high drama on the floor of the U.S. House this afternoon.
The roll now will be called, and those responding to their names will indicate by surname the nominee of their choosing. The reading clerk will now call the roll.
And the roll was called with 434 representatives answering, and the unofficial tally was 216 for Speaker Johnson and 215 for House Minority Leader Jeffries, with 3 Republicans voting other. Mr. Johnson was confident as he arrived with a fresh boost of support from President-elect Trump after working to sway the hardline holdouts. It looks like it's heading to a second round. George Williams reporting.
This has been an SRN News special report. I'm John Scott.
Hi, everyone. If you or someone you know were diagnosed with lung cancer or mesothelioma, listen up. This could be the result of asbestos exposure, and you could be entitled to significant compensation. Call us at 800-818-0200 to find out if you qualify for a cash settlement. I'm here with spokesman John Wolf. So, John, tell our listeners who should call right now.
Well, Maria, first off, thank you for having me here to help the listeners. Now, as far as who should call in, anyone who's been diagnosed with lung cancer or mesothelioma should give us a call right now and find out if you qualify for a cash settlement. Call 800-818-0200.
Thanks, John. You heard it, folks. If you or a loved one were diagnosed with lung cancer or mesothelioma, call right now to find out if you qualify for cash compensation. 800-818-0200.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
Rich Thomas weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where over-the-road dump truck drivers are needed right now. Home twice a week and every weekend. Must leave early on Sunday with Blue Cross Blue Shield. Call them now at 855-777-9785.
Well, hi, everybody. We got a fresh supply of reinforcing colder air sweeping into the state with clear skies tonight. Overnight low temperature down to about 29. Tomorrow will be a rather brisk day. Sunshine, but a high temperature struggling to reach 50. And then on Sunday, temperatures recover to about 64 for a high temperature. This is ahead of the next front, with showers and thunderstorms becoming likely, especially by Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening and night, ending early Monday, followed by an Arctic temperature plunge. Windy, cold Monday, high barely 50, mid-20s Monday night, and then we'll stay cold for the rest of the week. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
We're redesigning financial freedom at CB&S Bank. Make purchases at participating stores and restaurants using your CB&S Bank debit card through your mobile devices with Mobile Wallet. Charges and fees may apply from your cellular service provider. Contact your service provider for more information. Member FDIC.
1819 News.
Alabama's Republican congressional delegates appear poised to vote in favor of Mike Johnson of Louisiana to continue into the new congressional term as Speaker of the House. Congressman Robert Aderholt is the only one who has made his vote for Johnson publicly known. The statements from Aderholt come after President-elect Donald Trump made a full-throated endorsement for Johnson as Speaker. A spokesperson for Congressman Barry Moore has also confirmed that Moore is a yes vote for Johnson. Moore is the only Alabama congressman who's a member of the House Freedom Caucus, which is a staunchly conservative group of Republicans. With Moore choosing to go with Johnson, it is doubtful that the other Alabama Republicans, such as Mike Rogers, Dale Strong, and Gary Palmer, will decide to vote against Johnson. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Where I was living was not a great place to live anymore. I began to pray for a place to go, praying for all of these things that a 9-year-old would want. I wanted horses, big house with a bunch of people my age. I wanted parents. I wanted a mom and a dad. Before I even prayed it, the Lord had already answered my prayer with the Big Oak Ranch. Who would that 9-year-old be if she never came to the Big Oak Ranch? I would be trying to fight for survival instead of fighting to break a cycle.
Big Oak Ranch, a Christian home for children needing a chance.
A police officer in Mobile who founded a group called Men United Against Violence is responding to the removal of a sex guide for teenagers in the Mobile Public Library. Sergeant John Young spoke with the city council about the book this week. It'll be reviewed by the library board in its next meeting, which is set for January 6th. Young says that children in the community are being exposed to things that promote hypersexuality at a very young age, and that the community, along with politicians, should work together to positively influence these children. The Spanish Fort Public Library also removed this particular book after its contents were revealed by 1819 News reporter Erica Thomas. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Did you know that over 12 times a day, someone in Autauga County calls 911 to report a medical or fire emergency? Volunteer first responders are saving lives and property, and you can be part of their team.
Volunteering as a first responder is really about making a difference where it's needed most, and Autauga County needs you now more than ever. Are you ready to answer the call?
To begin your journey, you can find any of the agencies of the Autauga County Firefighters Association on Facebook or visit makemeafirefighter.org.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Final hour of the program here on a Friday. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader is here, as is Craig Monger.
That's got to go back on.
Okay, I finally realized who you remind me of.
Who's that?
This is a good thing. I watch a lot of Barstool Sports. There's a guy on there named Chef Donnie.
Chef Donnie?
He's a real deal chef. You kind of favor him a good bit, a really good bit, especially when you took the hat off and I saw some wild hair there for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Telling you, Chef Donnie.
He's a handsome kid.
Oh, he's good guy, smart as he can be. Yeah. But that's what you kind of look like.
I am significantly more jacked than this guy.
Oh, there's no doubt, but he's
offended.
working on it.
I'm offended.
Let's go to line 1 and talk to East of the Rockies.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. Speaking of chefs, we need to work on getting Greg Budell a chef hat. I think that would broaden his horizons for his morning video, but I'm off topic.
You're right.
Well, hold on. You don't think that Krispy Kreme hat he's got that he wears shows that he's the king of the kitchen?
Yeah, ding fries are done. Yeah, that's good stuff. But no, I think a real, like a Ratatouille chef hat, something had a rat under, you know what I mean?
Not a bad idea.
I like it.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how they size those things or anything, but we need to get Budell one. Look, Joey, I really want to. I am in the weeds here with you, man. I love the show today, but I got to know, what kind of guitars do you play, and what kind of strings do you prefer?
I'm really not a gearhead in the weight room or when it comes to music.
Yeah.
So the thing we just came in playing, that's the Stingray bass y'all got me, a Music Man Stingray bass.
Wow.
I think I'm going to change the flat wound strings on the bass, and then on the electric guitar I have is a Mexican-made Strat. So,
Sure.
It still gets the job done, and I honestly don't care. I just take whatever strings. I tend to go a little lighter. I don't have the strongest hands in the world.
You ever get shredding so heavy you bust some strings?
No, not really.
You
get close on with bending, like blues style playing, yeah.
Yeah, well, I was just curious, what kind of amp, man?
I don't even know, because I'm all playing in direct
oh, yeah, nowadays.
to the audio interface.
What most people do, right?
You just go right into the computer with it.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
How do you annoy your neighbors with that?
Yeah,
come
right.
on.
Good point.
Right, I'm trying to be quiet about it, but
That's right. I'll have to get you an amplifier, brother. All right. Well, listen, I appreciate it. I just wanted to talk music for a minute, and I know all this other stuff will work itself out, and and so some of us are not having a happy New Year, but it's a little more tolerable with 93.1 on the radio.
There you go.
That's right. Politics is temporary. Wu-Tang is forever.
All right, Kat. We'll talk to you.
Appreciate it.
See you, brother.
You know what? I've been on a Green Day resurgence the past few days.
Really?
Yeah. They got some tasty tunes. Like, they're not like one of my all-time favorites,
Yeah.
but, listen to
Early they were
Brain
great.
Stew. Like, yeah.
Early they were good. Then it became more like old men pretending to be punk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do know. I know exactly what you mean.
No, there are certain genres where it's like, it's kind of like being a stripper. It's like,
Yeah.
people get tired of that.
Well, but see, the thing is, like,
You like old lady
I didn't
strippers?
say that. I'm just saying you're saying that old women don't look good naked. What you're trying to say?
Not as good as they did when they're young.
Oh no.
Really?
Something about a woman with tiger stripes, Joey.
no, there's something to be said about that. Like,
No, Craig, let what Eddie said
Yeah.
simmer.
He earned that silence. He earned the silence.
Let it simmer. Tiger stripes?
Yeah.
You like tiger stripes and,
On a woman?
and shark bite?
On a woman, some tiger stripes, so she could take a little bit.
Of what? More stripes?
Yeah.
You're a domestic
There's some
abuser.
elastic.
That's what he just said.
There's elasticity in there.
Let's
Actually,
go.
that shows the opposite. By the way.
Well, let's bring on a lady. Debbie, how you doing? How you doing today, Debbie?
Hi, I was thinking you didn't love me anymore.
No, I still love you.
Oh, thank you. I need that. No, I was just going to catch up with you on that cancer little thing you were talking about. I remember years ago, I was at the university, back in the 90s, actually, and a professor was talking about insurance and how insurance companies, if they were able to do a blood test and find out you had cancer cells, not cancer, the cells that can become cancerous eventually if they were triggered, would be able to deny you coverage or up your rates and things like that. So apparently the technology has been around for some time for a person to be able to distinguish whether or not they actually have cancer cells in their body. Now, what triggers them is the thing that's the discussion, really.
Right.
So is it the vibration, the energy, from the microwaves of the 5G? Is it the Wi-Fi in the house? Is it the stuff that they put in the water, which gets into our food, etc.? Whether it's the shots, maybe, that they're saying, oh, these will save your life. Well, they've already proven the one shot they had for young ladies to prevent cervical cancer, which my nieces had been given, actually ended up being a contributor to cervical cancer. Yeah. So how much faith do we need to have in a medical society that has been continuously wrong? And like this one doctor said, we make money when you're sick. We don't make money when you're well.
Yep.
Right.
And so it's a big business, and it's a huge lobbyist entity in our government. So I've really got a bad feeling that we're set up for a fall because our cancer rates are outrageous now.
Yeah, and something's got to give in this regard. But we don't know. I think at the end of the day, we really don't know. You could maybe. That's why we brought up the Amish example earlier. Okay, maybe if you can really narrow down all environmental factors, but it's just something that, of course, is in the back of my mind because of my mother, and even to this day, you look into the glioblastomas, and they're like, is it a genetic mutation? Is it environmental? It's not exactly clear. They don't have a clue.
Maybe it's all of the above.
Yeah.
Death by 1,000 cuts. And,
Right.
Even Dr. Wimpy, who I used to work for, had mentioned that he had determined in his years that cancer seemed to be triggered by emotions as well. So after a tragedy, he said often he had noticed that the spouse of a person that had died, a mother or father of a child who had died, maybe they lost their job or whatever. Now, those kinds of tragedies trigger an enormous emotional response for most people.
Which has a physiological basis, yeah.
Right, right. So even that. So how many things are out there to make us depressed? Well, let's face it, blue light from all our electronics that we like to stare at do tend to have an effect on the pineal part of the brain. So, and that's what really gives us our happy hormone. So, who knows? Quite a few things to think about. So are we supposed to just go and become recluse and live in, the top of a mountain somewhere?
Doesn't sound too bad, actually.
You keep telling me to do that. Get a horse.
Yeah, go get a horse. Go live in the mountains. What is it?
You get a horse and live in the mountains someplace and don't bother anybody.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually lived in the mountain for a while, and I got to admit, I really did like it. I just don't think I'm able to now, but when I was younger, I could handle it physically. I loved it.
Yeah. Clean air.
Well,
and
anyway,
beautiful.
guys. Oh, it is, and the water, too.
Mhm.
It is nice. Well, guys, you have a very nice day. I've just cheered you all up. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. Appreciate it, Debbie.
Thank you, Debbie.
Have a good weekend.
Let's go find happier things to talk about now.
There you go.
Appreciate it, but go look for that. Good luck. Like, I got such a kick out of Musk saying the other day, we need to share more positive, uplifting stories on this site. Okay, man. There are a few pages, but it's not even words. It's like cute animal videos.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that stuff can be adorable, but how do you really talk about or translate it?
Did you see that kitty cat that chased that ping pong ball down the hallway? That was so cute.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't,
Yeah. It's
what do
more
you-
like, hey, did you see this video? You give them 3 seconds to watch it, and you both share a smile.
Right, exactly. Now, what people want is intrigue. What they want is deep dives into what's the real truth. But by the way, every pundit on X has the real truth, right? But this is the New York Post writing that the wife of the U.S. soldier who blew up a Tesla Cybertruck outside of the Trump International Hotel in Vegas on Wednesday broke up with him 6 days before he killed himself inside the vehicle, according to law enforcement sources. Now, do we really think he killed himself? I can keep reading this story because it does give some detail. But what is it? Matthew Livelsberger, 37, left his Colorado Springs home the day after Christmas following an argument with his wife over apparent infidelity. His wife, who had a baby daughter with Livelsberger reportedly told him that she knew he had been cheating. After leaving Colorado, Livelsberger rented a Cybertruck through the Turo app and made his way to Vegas, where he parked in front of the Trump Hotel on New Year's Day, detonated explosive devices stashed in the truck, and shot himself in the head.
That's the part where you lose me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because we all got to see what happened, and there was people around that truck, and not one of them reacted the way that you do when a gunshot goes off.
Thank you.
Especially from a 50 caliber Desert Eagle.
Thank you.
In a vehicle. Now, I've only seen a Cybertruck in passing, so maybe there's some superior noise cancellation. Which I don't know why you would need that in a vehicle that doesn't have an internal combustion engine. But that's beside the point. I don't know. I do know that rinky-dink explosive situation that he had was not indicative of what could be done by someone with his credentials.
Yeah.
And also another thing that nobody in the history of ever has done is selected a 50 AE Desert Eagle to unalive themselves with. Never once.
Nope.
I've never heard of it.
Well, and now moving to a different story. This is from the Denver Gazette. Alicia Arrit had no inkling that her ex-boyfriend was planning to blow up one of the swankiest hotels on the Vegas Strip. In the days before the explosion and apparent suicide, Livelsberger's texts to her were playful, almost like a kid with a new toy. That's exactly how I thought of these texts when I saw them.
Yep.
Quote, I rented a Tesla Cybertruck. It's the shizzle or crap or whatever. You know what I mean. He wrote at 9 a.m. on Sunday from Denver. He continued to text her until New Year's Eve, sending photos and music videos of the vehicle. I feel like Batman or Halo, he texted at 9:07 a.m. on Sunday. It sounded like conversations between old friends, but according to Arrid, it was strange to hear from him out of the blue. The two had stopped talking and moved on after a painful 2021 breakup. Livelsberger married and had a baby daughter. Arrid is a single mother who works 12-hour shifts. She was glad to hear from him. It's been reported that Livelsberger left their home the day after Christmas after an argument with his wife. Neighbors said they hadn't seen him for days. I'm building drones in my new position, he wrote. You would love it. How fast is it? Arrid asked of the Cybertruck. He texted back, ungodly. It really, these texts, if anything, don't sound like a guy who's about to off himself.
In an act of what appears to be terrorism.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but didn't we just stop talking about a drone-related story like 5 seconds ago?
Yep.
And I'm just...
Right.
It's just one of these things, like, this just stinks.
Yeah,
it just smells funky.
And his uncle was saying he loved Trump.
Yep. Yeah.
And even the ex-girlfriend's like, we broke up, but he was a sweet guy, a normal guy, was an honorable man who loved his country. So, it doesn't add up. It does stink to high heaven. But will we get to the bottom of it?
Nope.
No, most likely not. But, keep watching those ex-pundits. They might actually get you the real truth. Heck, I'll be there for it. If somebody actually comes out with something convincing, I would love to know the story.
Joey, what happened in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Oh, right. You ever been to the Trump Hotel there?
Yeah, we usually stay, I can't think of our hotel we stay at, but it's like in that same plaza. Trump Hotel's nice, but it's not to be funny. It's just another hotel in Vegas. So
Right.
It's not,
Right. But, I mean, I'm sure they have games and all that.
oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, they got everything there, too.
yeah. It's a crazy image, seeing a Cybertruck blow up in front of Trump Tower. And it does come across as, to me, it comes across, if we're going to play this like a Hollywood movie, like somebody sending a message.
Very manufactured.
Clearly, it's somebody, not the guy who's dead in the vehicle, but somebody. And then, so you wonder, could a Cybertruck be programmed to drive itself somewhere?
Well,
after this guy was killed. Why, with his know-how, his special forces background, and all sorts of certifications, would he rig up these explosives in that way? I don't know.
Those texts you were reading, how long, that's someone he had constantly been in communication with, or just
Had
recently?
not been in communication with, because they broke up.
Yeah.
They met in 2018 after he and his first wife divorced, and they had military service in common.
So just trying to establish something there.
Yeah, I mean, and this was his ex-girlfriend, and that he had been messaging since he split with the wife, and he was talking about his awesome Cybertruck.
is right. I
It's
don't know.
just so
Reach.
there's nothing about it makes sense. I mean, okay, like a person who why the Trump Tower? Why
Right.
Trump Tower?
Why a Cybertruck?
Why a Cybertruck specifically? Why those rinky-dink explosions? Why the 50A Desert Eagle?
Right.
Why are you someone who's literally trained to pretty much drop with maybe like a dude or two into like a foreign country and set up a rebel army and overtake a government in the matter of like 8 months?
Right.
Like that's your level of specialization, and you chose a Dollar Tree explosive system thrown into one of the most sturdy vehicles ever built, like
right,
and detonating it right outside, and then also shooting yourself in the head right before you detonate, so you're not even seeing the fulfillment of your own mission, and you're shooting yourself with the worst handgun to do that. All of it stinks.
Yeah,
like, and I didn't even think the New Orleans thing didn't stink at all to me until they had the New York Post to have their reporter lady go in there with her.
What
with
was
her
that all
leggings.
about? I saw that you had posted the video.
Yeah.
What the hell is that all about?
They gave this reporter access to the guy's house, the Islamic name. I can't remember the
Right,
guy's
but
name.
wouldn't it be a crime scene at some point?
Din Jahar, I think.
Yeah, and that's the point. And then she conveniently rolls up and finds the Palestinian head thing. The what's it called? The kifa or the headdress that the Palestinians finds that in the closet. Conveniently finds a bomb making station right there, and the Quran is sitting there open up to a page about jihad, and it just and I was like, okay, like what are we doing here?
Well
What are we doing?
manufactured. Too much manufactured.
And the house was super clean too.
Well, and did you catch the police chief of New Orleans saying yesterday as they're getting ready for the Sugar Bowl, they're like, see, and we have these little sidewalk barricades that now, if they can't recreate this, I didn't know we had those until yesterday.
Was that the 80-year-old white lady?
Yeah, the very old white lady, yes.
Who had formerly been the chief of Oakland and now suddenly got a gig in New Orleans.
Kind of like being the chief of Montgomery and getting a gig in Dallas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And you're like, wait, you didn't know you had those resources? Like, you're
Why
the
wouldn't
chief
you
of
know
the
that?
city. Bourbon Street's one of the key assets of your city.
Parades are what your city is
You're
known
right. Every
for.
day, every single day.
Well, and especially with Bourbon Street, if you set those up on a pretty frequent basis, I don't think you have an issue because a lot of you got horseback police down
they
there.
walk around.
They can walk right around them. So maybe you don't put those up because you want your officers to be able to move quickly down the sidewalk. But if we're going to have, I was asking this yesterday, like if trucks are now a means of terrorism and mass slaughter, how do you stop that? Like everybody's got a truck.
The only thing you can do is just prevent where they go.
Right.
I mean, that's all you can do.
Well, they're going to develop some sort of, with the technological, the way that everything in the car is computerized at this point, they're going to invent some sort of like directional based gun to where you can just point at a vehicle, pull the trigger, and it shuts it down.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
soon,
probably coming.
I think it's every vehicle from last year forward has a automatic kill device. Where
I'm certain my vehicle could be shut down remotely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can turn it on myself remotely. I'm like, yeah, if I can do it.
Yeah.
If you
And
have
turn it
a-
off remotely as you're driving.
But that's going to be, you could, I guess, make vehicles with how they can sense that now they can sense cars and vehicles and people in front of a car and immediately hit the brake. So I guess you can program it to where you're never allowed to run over a human ever, but that could lead to, safety issues.
Right. Well, at least he didn't do it in a mid-sized SUV. Bane of my existence. It's not a real vehicle, and everybody's doing it. It's kind of like you with your New Year's resolutions. Like you either get a sedan or a coupe that's low to the ground, or you get a truck. You don't go the mid-sized SUV, and yet everybody's doing it.
I used to call them cans. It was a mix between a car and a van.
Right.
Because they just can't make up their mind. It's for cowards. It's for moral cowards.
Mm-hmm.
Just get like a 4Runner or nothing,
Well, when you drive in on the mid-sized SUV, how do you feel about yourself?
I love that little thing.
You do.
It's like a Tesla, man.
It's a Hyundai, right?
It's a Tesla is what I call it. We stole the technology from Tesla where it's
yeah.
got automatic driving.
Oh, yeah.
Cruise control, lane assist. Dude, I just
Yeah,
turn
the
it on,
Kia I've
tell
got
it where I
all that
go,
stuff.
and
It's great. Yeah.
I have some other things I have to take care of.
Didn't Musk release all of his patents early in the days
Yeah.
of Tesla? So yeah, everyone could sort of just buy this stuff because he figured they were going to do it anyway.
They would. And he's smart enough to know that. I swear, when you go to Korea and you go to the R&D facility, you see all these vehicles out there. None of them are Hyundais. Lots of other vehicles. And so I asked several people before finally somebody told me. I was like, well, why do we got a Chevrolet Avalanche out here? Why do we have this F-150? What are we doing? Because I knew, but I wanted somebody to tell me. And finally, this Korean lady looked at me. She said, you know. She was very upset with me. Like, okay, I was just asking. It's like, what do y'all do with them? And apparently they take them all apart, completely down to all the way before they are disposed of. So they get anything and every kind of technology.
Is there a particular thing the Koreans would call you if they were mad at you that maybe had
Cowboy.
a certain cowboy is what they would say?
And that was supposed to be an insult, but we took it very well.
No, that's what I was looking for, like how we're gringos to some folks.
Cowboy. Because
Cowboy.
we wouldn't get in line. Wouldn't fall in line.
Yeah, when I was at the Hyundai plant, when they would do these crazy freaking fire drills or bad storm drills every 5 minutes, it felt like. We'd start shuffling, and one time this group of, I'm assuming they were Korean just because they were executives of Hyundai, and they were all having to shovel to the bathroom, and I just started yelling, Gojira! Gojira! And they just looked at me with this look of, like, they didn't say anything, but I meant, like, we're not Japanese, right? I'm like, it's still funny.
Right, I'm playing ignorant Alabamian here.
exactly.
Come on.
Right.
hello.
I'm playing a part. Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Crawdad.
Hey, Crawdaddy.
I trying to get through to you guys. You could read an article that's in Scientific American from January 2018. My memory, I remembered what happened with Charles Whitman at the Book Tower, and there's an article in Scientific American, How Responsible Are Killers with Brain Damage? When this happened with Ann who did this, it makes no sense until you look at other things, and that could be what happened when you, in the news, it had that the man had brain damage from his service, and I'm thinking, well, I remember somebody else who had brain damage, then he killed his mother, and lots of data connecting what he did at the Book Tower.
Yeah.
And the amygdala, you see that I think this man, he is not him when he did what he did, and he is not him. His brain, operational machine in his head is not him anymore. So please, some people try to understand. I do not think that he was radicalized. I do not think that he was in his right mind, as they say. So that article is on this. Anyway, please, Eddie, I think I sent you a link, please.
Yep, I got it.
Appreciate it,
very
Crawdad.
much.
Thank you, sir.
Sort of the Chris Benoit question.
Yeah, I think there is something to. Yeah, is it massive CTE and deterioration?
Well, yeah, and
or is it a growth of some sort?
I think that honestly, 100% here. I think the vast majority of the kind of crazy violence that you see from a lot of professional athletes is due to that.
Yeah.
Like when you see what's his name who just like clocked his woman in the elevator.
Oh yeah.
Now I mean, and by all appearances,
Ray
Rice.
Yeah.
They had, by all accounts, they had a good marriage. They loved one another. They had your traditional issues, but he just that fuse got short, and that's just what happens to guys that get those repetitive brain injuries. Their fuse gets shorter and shorter, and then a few times they just absolutely lose their marbles. Chris Benoit, I think, is the best example because everyone loved the crap out of that guy and loved his family, and he loved his family. He was a good dad by all accounts, and just one day just loses it.
Well, and then a famous instance is Charles Whitman, the clock tower, Texas Tower sniper.
Yeah, he had CTE as well.
Yeah, and it's this sort of thing I've heard people say that can give hope, that if you can go to a material basis, then you could stop evil by literally giving somebody a pill or doing a procedure on them. I would say that's a double-sided sword, though, in the sense that if you can stop it, you can cause it. So as much as like, oh, we could cure evil in certain ways, some very awful, unsavory, malevolent people could engage in that. And by the way, I found maybe, I don't necessarily believe it, I just saw it yesterday in a stupid meme. I don't know if you were too young, I don't know if you're too old, but I vividly remember this as a 90s kid where they would put you kind of in the room alone with the, like, test your hearing. And it's like these big old honking headphones. You had to listen for the beeps and stuff. You remember that?
That's what got kicked me out of the Navy. I remember it very clearly.
Yeah. Well, and then they had the little fluoride cups and stuff at the same time. And I'm seeing these images and I'm like, it's bringing back memories. But the conspiracy is it was sort of a MK Ultra CIA sorting procedure to actually manipulate people through, sight, sound, and taste. And essentially groom the next high IQ generation that they can manipulate. I'm like, I don't believe that necessarily, but it was weird. That is a weird memory to have.
Dude, we still had them at Alpha Wire and Hyundai. You still had hearing tests. You get in the refrigerator. They put on the headphones. Beep.
Really?
Hit the little button. Beep. Beep. Yeah. And it was strange, and we always used to laugh.
And then I have a memory of like, oh, my hearing's fine, and it's shot. It's shot now. But like other folks would be like, oh, did you hear well? Yeah, I heard well.
Oh, yeah, it was a big thing.
And I had this weird memory of this girl coming out of the procedure or whatever. We did, I think, in the library over there at St. Bede. And she came out and she's like, I have scoliosis. And I'm like, we just now found out?
Well, it's a hearing test. How'd she find out she had scoliosis?
I guess they're like, that hunchback ain't.
I have mild scoliosis.
You do?
I didn't even have to go to a doctor. I looked.
You just
like,
looked in the mirror and went.
I was like, yeah, that's my back, and it looks like a question mark. Isn't that interesting?
How'd you fix that?
Just focus on posture. There's not much you can do to fix it. If it gets too bad, I'll have to go and see someone that'll put me in one of those braces because you can't really reverse it. You can't really reverse it without surgery, and that's not happening ever.
I feel bad for, and there are some older folks in my neighborhood, where it's that constant leaned over look. And God bless those folks, like especially because in the neighborhood they still insist. You gotta love an older person who's like, I'm still gonna clean up my yard.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go rake leaves. Like, and it's very slow.
There's this lady in Titus. I used to go feed a horse every morning up until just a couple days ago. So every morning about 6 o'clock, I was on the road. This lady had to be being nice, 85 to 90 years old. She was out every morning with her pecan picker. It didn't matter how cold, frost on the ground didn't matter. Right over by Community Grocery. And it's just this little house in the middle of the country. And I kept thinking, man, I'd love to be her. I want to be able to be that age, still on my own, and still have the tenacity to get up. You know what? I'm gonna get me some fresh pecans this morning.
Yeah, the one thing I make jokes about when I want to die. I honestly don't care when it is, but before I get to the point where I can't do anything like that, like I plan to die tired. That's my goal. But going back to talking about Whitman and the tower shooter. To a certain extent, I think you can prevent a lot of crazy acts of violence by taking care of your I had a friend, and I've been up on the CTE studies for a while now, and I told a buddy of mine, I was like, I would never let my kid play football. Never gonna let him play football. And he kind of blew it off, thought it was crazy, and he had a teenage kid himself, and he took a hit, and his kid couldn't read for like 2 months without getting a headache.
Wow.
And he was like, yeah, I think you might have been onto something there. I was like, yeah, and it's even worse now because they see it in a lot of soccer players. Because it's the repetitive. What is it? Subconcussive, I think is the word. Repetitive subconcussive blows can actually damage you more.
Right, because you're constantly rocking the brain, but it's not enough to show any symptoms.
Yeah, or not
immediately.
And that's why you do see some CTE, plenty of it in mixed martial arts, but you see more of it in boxing. Because the pads are bigger, so you can take more of those repetitive punches as opposed to like a shin to the dome, turns the lights off, and you're not taking that repeated beating. So, but at the end of the day, I don't think there's a physiological explanation for all acts of evil. I think Adolf Hitler probably had a very good brain. I'm sure if it was split open.
I'd push back on that because just zooming out where it's not just about Hitler. It's the whole generation of people in Europe. I think World War I, because of the traumas and literally limbs and heads rung, bells rung, all sorts of stuff, I think it primed the next generation to be as crazy as they were. Because it wasn't just the Nazis. If you start reading into that time period, there's crazy movements going on all over Europe, not to mention what's happening in Russia.
Yeah.
So, and I think part of that is like the maiming of war in World War I.
But see, the thing is, the Germans, that would be a great example if the Germans didn't absolutely love World War I. Read the Panzer General, read what the German generals had to say about that conflict. They had a blast. They loved it. It was war, but there's something about that culture that where they really enjoyed it.
Well, and they're not sitting there in the trenches themselves.
Yeah, that's true. And but it was the Brits and the Americans and the Italians when they went home. They had some crazy kooky stuff going on with the brain. So I think there is a point there, but it's like they have the brains of a lot of these what we would call evil people, these serial killers, and they're perfectly healthy. So
right.
There's this. Well, again, I the other day I always avoid watching exorcisms movies because they're just kind of old hat at this point. But I'm a big Russell Crowe fan, so I saw it on Netflix. I watched The Pope's Exorcist. There's a line in that where he talks about as an exorcist, 99% of his cases he ends up referring to doctors or psychiatrists. And then they said, what about the 1%? He's like, oh, that 1% has mystified science and religion for thousands of years. I just call it evil.
Again, we come back to stuff we don't really know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, how much do we not know about the physiological things that damage our body? How much infinitely more do we not know about the spiritual things?
It does seem we're on the cusp of material empirical science, so-called, actually taking, let's say, revelation and holy text, not just Christian, but all sort of appeals to something beyond just science. If science is brought to bear on the things that revelatory texts actually say, divinely inspired texts actually say, because I think if you, instead of just with a hand wave going, well, you can't prove any of that, yada, yada, yada. No, I think when you bring science to bear on some of that stuff, it actually creates more insight to what was actually going on. The archaeological projects still going on in the Holy Land keep bearing more fruit. So again, with like the drone thing and the UAP conversation, people now go back to like Ezekiel and go, well, maybe it isn't just was he hallucinating?
Yeah.
What is actually this guy seeing? And if you actually take those things seriously, those stories seriously, it might open your mind to, well, the world is weirder than you think, but it's still knowable.
Well, it's like, have you seen the big drama that's going on with what's his name? Not Randall Carlson. God, the Ancient Aliens guy.
Oh, Graham Hancock.
Graham Hancock, and sort of his crew of people that are looking at these structures and these things, and and they're having some questions about like the traditional explanations for these things don't make a lot of sense, and they're met with this giant roadblock of sort of establishment archaeology. Like where there's like, hey, we have our established narratives and we don't want to accept the possibility of anything metaphysical or extraterrestrial or whatever.
Right.
So you think that we'd be more advanced than we are if people were a little bit more curious.
Yeah, but if you're a dean and you're making bank and your life's work is on being challenged by this up and coming young kid.
Yeah.
You're
Especially
probably
about aliens and stuff like that.
Yeah, just write him off as a kook. Or if he's actually onto something, write him off as a kook and then steal his insights.
That has happened before. Tesla, what?
Got to hit a break. Be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hey there, it's Hannah Grantham.
And I'm Eddie Bader. We're with Forest Meadows Homes and Land, and we're here to make your real estate experience unforgettable.
When it comes to buying or selling, who you have on your side really does make a difference.
That's right. We know this market, and we know how to get results. We know how to change that for sale sign into a sold sign.
With our local expertise and commitment to you, we make sure your real estate dreams become a reality. So if you're ready to buy or sell, give us a call today at 334-368-6358.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man. Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Erdis. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or
205-479-0839.
I see.
Yes, he is our preferred money man.
The money man with the money plan.
You've been paying attention.
Well, could you give us those numbers one more time?
334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man.
Oh, what's that?
I'm not an elk.
Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you?
Knights of Columbus.
I am not even going to make a comment.
Well, the baby liked it.
Hey, this is Ray Bowles of Prattville Carpet. And since we've been advertising on Blue Water, our sales have increased dramatically. Blue Water has a large listening audience that is very faithful to their advertisers, and we greatly appreciate that. If you're thinking about advertising for your business, I would highly recommend Blue Water.
Radio works. It's as simple as that. Call us to find out how radio can work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where over-the-road dump truck drivers are needed right now. Home twice a week and every weekend, must leave early on Sunday with Blue Cross Blue Shield. Call them now at 855-777-9785.
Well, hi, everybody. We got a fresh supply of reinforcing colder air sweeping into the state with clear skies tonight. Overnight low temperature down to about 29. Tomorrow will be a rather brisk day. Sunshine, but a high temperature struggling to reach 50. And then on Sunday, temperatures recover to about 64 for a high temperature. This is ahead of the next front, with showers and thunderstorms becoming likely, especially by Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening and night, ending early Monday, followed by an Arctic temperature plunge. Windy, cold Monday, high barely 50, mid-20s Monday night, and then we'll stay cold for the rest of the week. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Thank you for voting ASC Credit Union, the best credit union in the River Region 6 years in a row. As we celebrate our 70th anniversary, we are proud to be at the top of the list for the best credit union in the hearts of the communities we serve.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
For those just tuning in, Mike Johnson has been elected for the next Congress to be Speaker of the House once again. It looked like Johnson did not have the votes on the first vote, but then a guy named Ralph Norman, as well as others, changed their vote. And we're looking at Ralph Norman talking live on Fox right now. Essentially, the long and short of it is he was told nobody else has got the support to even get close to winning. Just vote for Johnson, man. Let's not do a recreation of the last Congress. It seems he was swayed practically. I suspect, as always, the public face is not the full story.
Thank you, Joey. Thank you.
I'm sure somebody made a deal. In fact, I saw Nancy Mace of the Carolinas over there.
Yeah.
And I just every time I see her, I'm like, that woman's out of control. She's out of control, and I like it.
I was going to say, I think you like it about her,
I do,
Joey.
actually. I kind of like how she's on.
He likes the out of control lady,
He does.
doesn't he?
He does.
Well, I like the ones that are out of control, but they're in control. You know what I mean?
Like they might break a plate, but they won't key your car.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Ooh, there's a fine line there, though, Joey.
Or they might slash your tires, but instead of an actual knife, they're just like taping pictures of Slash, the guitarist, on your tires, right?
Or they just let it out where they take the time to unscrew the cap and push it with a pin.
Yeah,
so you're inconvenienced, but you're not out like $180.
Right, yeah. It's like, that's creative at least. Right. You okay, Eddie?
Yeah, I didn't ever get to date those kind of women.
Oh,
Women I
but
dated
you
would
did.
flat out flash your tire.
But you are a fan of Tiger Stripes.
I am. I got called out a while ago for
Dude,
that.
did you realize how, like, I was like, I love you,
Oh,
Joey,
yeah.
and I'm just so glad that I don't have to worry about dating or courting or attracting anyone except for my wife. It's so great.
I don't even think about it, man.
1,000%. However, seen some things on the used tubes, like Switzerland.
Yeah.
Full of these beautiful single women. Switzerland. Croatia was on there as well. But there was a lot of beautiful single women. And I'm just thinking, now,
should I sponsor a Ukrainian?
I think you should take a trip.
No, I'll let them.
Not Ukrainian.
Not Ukrainian. No, that's going to come
some
with some baggage.
Scandinavian-esque, you know, sort of very Nordic.
I'm telling you, man, the Sweden girls.
One of those CrossFit chicks, yeah.
Like Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Be careful.
Very blonde.
What did Jasmine Crockett say? Bad built butch body.
Bad built butch body.
Okay. Jasmine Crockett's politics suck, but that was hilarious. Oh man.
I think we need the congressional boxing matches, and I would pay.
That would be good.
You forget about Logan Paul versus Mike Tyson. I would pay significant money to watch Marjorie Taylor Greene and Jasmine Crockett go at it, like full on, like you can have the longest acrylic nails you want, just no holds barred. Get in there and do work.
And by the way, to your point, I am in that whatever cohort that it's not given up is not the right term because I haven't given up.
You're hanging out.
But yeah, no, it's not a concern of mine to go out, date, spend money, find that person. Like, it really is not my concern.
So negative. It is. Have you talked to modern day women? It's like talking to a bucket of shrimp.
And all the good ones are taken. Well, not all of them.
Not all of them.
Actually, I find that there's plenty of like decent young women that are kind of like, yeah, I'd like to have a good husband. A lot of times it's the dudes that suck. But there's plenty of women that suck too.
I know, Craig. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you for telling me about me.
Have you checked out the? I think it's Idaho that has they run a prison dating service. Yes, very big on the TikTok.
Idaho,
where the females they literally come on and video you talking
about women out of control, but in
I
control.
think they're asking you to give them commissary money, but it is a promotional thing that they do. And it's never an ugly one on there either. You never see the ugly girls. It's always the pretty one.
It is weird how like some women. Yeah, that's a weird one.
Well, how'd y'all meet? Well, I started paying for her commissary bills while she was in the big joint.
Well, I started buying him ramen to avoid gang rape in the shower. I started sending him cartons of Pall Mall to avoid having his mouth used as a sock for 4 years straight.
Oh, stop it, Craig. Stop it. Stop being funnier than all of us.
Well, I say that, but Brian Dawson, that's literally how he met his wife, because they started being pen pals.
Yes, I know.
And it's a great, it really is an amazing, like, romantic story. Divinely inspired even, but dadgum. Oh, you're right.
Oh, God.
Not my intent.
It was part of the program brought to you by Smokehouse Pit Barbecue, and there at Smokehouse, they take their barbecue seriously. 5 brick pits, back to the original recipes that made Smokehouse Pit Barbecue famous. Hand-pulled meats, best barbecue here in the river region, folks. So if you're maybe looking like you're in a camp stew mood, it is chilly enough today.
In fact, this weekend, in this weekend, it's going to get cold, man. So I would get you some camp stew, get you some there, and get you some to go.
And you could get like, just the one serving, or you can get a big old thing of it and just warm it up at the house.
That's what I do.
Or, of course, if you want to hang out, they have a bar and usually live music there on Friday nights.
That's
and
right.
It's a great place to eat, but also just enjoy other people's company and get to know other folks.
Great food.
And maybe you're like, I can't make it tonight. I can't make it on Friday night, but why not get up early and go try their amazing breakfast?
That's another really good idea, Joe.
They serve breakfast in-house Tuesday through Sunday, and I think they open up at 6:30, bright and early.
Yep.
And man, those cheese grits are the best, one of the best things I've eaten, period, let alone breakfast food.
Nice and thick.
And I think all three of us need to take on the Fat Boy breakfast.
I'm ready.
I don't think it's going to be that difficult for all of us in here to eat.
I don't know. I've been feeling thin. What are you, 202 now?
I was 204 this morning.
Think you can handle that? At breakfast?
Yeah.
Pre-workout or post-workout?
Post-workout, I could definitely
Okay.
It. Yeah.
That's probably a good idea then.
Anyway, the point is, you can hear us right now. Like I'm salivating right now. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, dinner, Smokehouse Pit Barbecue is the place to go. You can always check out what they're doing on Facebook, or you can just stop by. Same location they've always been, there at Main Street in Millbrook. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie and Craig, those fellas on the radio, sent you.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Are you happy with your IT support company? Do they resolve your company's computer issues quickly, or do they leave you down and frustrated? You need your computers working and problems resolved quickly and permanently. GTI is different. GTI has a high standard of affordably supporting and protecting businesses like yours since 1999. Call them now at 819-4650, 819-4650, or visit gtinow.com.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The River Region's News Talk Station. News Talk 93.1, WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. We got Craig doing a Trump dance. Did you see the Trump dance going on for the New Year's Eve celebration?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, and then Melania got in on it, and Elon was right next to him with his kid, and it's just all like really getting into it. Like Trump was moving his hips. Like,
oh, he's getting into it.
Yeah, it was like a Shakira song.
I had the most
Hips
successful
don't
New
lie.
Year's Eve ever. I had everyone out of my house by 10:30.
Nicely
That's
done.
nice.
Nicely done.
I just make an in-hospital environment. I start flatulating aggressively.
That's what I was going to ask. What's
Just
your secret?
fumigate the house.
That's the secret.
I just don't text people back. Let's go to Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray.
Hey, or you do like I do, just call the police and complain on your own house. I gotta go to the restroom. I'll be back in a little bit. Call 911.
They were playing NWA and setting off fireworks.
Yeah, exactly. That always clears them out really fast. But man, I have been on the road today. I don't know about y'all, but I really don't like this midweek holiday.
I agree.
Agreed.
100%.
Yesterday, I thought it was Monday.
Yep.
Okay, so we all take a turn closing every night because it's the worst thing you can do in the carpet world is close. It's the most boring thing ever. And I get up at 4:30 and I said, hey, I think I might go head home. And Bart said, what are you talking about? You closed tonight. I said, no, it's Monday. He's like, no, it's Thursday. I said, darn, I shouldn't have put a word. I should have just walked out the door. Left him here on his own.
Dang, Ray.
I know. I mean, today is literally Tuesday. I'm going to wake up in the morning about 5 o'clock ready to go. It's Saturday. I don't know what I'm going to do. So if y'all need a measurement to call me 285-8117 because I'm gonna be raring to work tomorrow. It's not gonna be a Saturday. Not my mind.
And you're not alone. I've been saying that the last couple days. Like, it's a mess. But you can still always go to Prattville Carpet, 285-8117. When you call 285-8117, be sure to tell them you heard Ray Bowles on the radio, not knowing what day it is.
And hey, Monday we got to celebrate because the kids are back in school.
There you go.
Nice.
And all the traffic will go away.
Okay.
Yeah, anytime the kids are out, the traffic's just horrible. I'm ready for them to go back to school just so the roads will open back up again. So we'll celebrate that on Monday, guys. Y'all have a good weekend.
Appreciate it, Rick. Did we learn anything today? Anything at all? That we don't know a lot of things.
Yeah, we did learn that. We learned that we need to learn more.
Yes, we did.
You two guys obviously don't like tiger stripes. It's kind of depressing.
It's not like we don't like. It's not. It's just
You
not
won't- you
like
won't
it.
say you like them.
I'm not. No, I'm saying I'm indifferent.
Yeah, it's not like them.
Right, but I'm not against them.
Yeah. I've got plenty on me, so.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I'm comfortable with them.
You get super jacked, bro.
Oh, or fat, but yeah.
No, that too. No. All of my, I have them right here from being fat. And the ones on my back, I think, are from being jacked. Or at least that's what I tell myself so I don't weep uncontrollably.
And by the way, folks, if you didn't see it, you got to go to my X page.
That's going to be my
Joey Clark.
screensaver, I swear.
Yes.
And I have created the mini faces of Kay Ivey. I'll pull it up on the stream now. Kay Ivey sipping a mint julep outside her lake house. Kay Ivey's jet ski champion
away.
of Alabama.
In her PIMP clothes.
Kay Ivey riding the new zip line. Oh, sugar. Kay Ivey doing the first ever spacewalk for somebody elderly. Kay Ivey defeating the Dragon of Alabama, Enos the Destroyer.
Mm-hmm.
Kay Ivey fighting Bubba the Bear at WrestleMania.
Oh, good Lord. These outfits.
Again, just go to my X page at the Joey Clark. Kay Ivey coming out as a Jedi Master. And that one hits good. Kay Ivey is Eternal Defender of the Roman Republic.
Yes.
and then leading
best, honestly, yeah.
the biggest drug bust in Alabama history.
That's the best one.
And of course, Kay Ivy's so cool she can hang out at the Hootenanny or the block party.
Either way.
Go check it out. That's probably the best thing I've done today.
I have to agree.
Right.
Did you have to actually give Grok pictures of KIV, or did it?
I took all the state agency stuff,
Okay.
plugged those in, and was like, okay, now give me. And first I'm like, can we do parodies of the actual department post? I'm like, no, that's going to be too involved, and I only had like 30 minutes to do this. So I'm like, I can't write up and do all the graphic design. So I'm like, oh, but Grok will put KIV in many different situations. I'm like, okay. And she's great. She's like a cartoon character, man. I think she fits in any situation. Like, seriously, folks, go to Grok and just say, I want KIV doing this. KIV went, remember that time when KIV went missing and she was on a milk carton? And just have a face for her on a milk carton?
I think that would be in turn two at Talladega.
I could.
Oh, yeah.
I could see her honestly playing like Donald Sutherland's role in Hunger Games.
I thought you were going to say Animal House.
She already had. She had that outfit from the Django. Don't forget.
Oh yeah, my Candyland outfit. I'm a businessman doing business.
Anyway, on that note,
I'll offer you a refreshing beverage. All my Django references have words I can't use.
Yeah, I was about to say we better get out of here. We're out of time. Happy hour with Greg. Wait, Greg. He brought me some Werther's Originals.
Did you stick around with him yesterday? Did the old man?
Yeah, I did.
That's how old men.
Well, to quote the great comedian, Mark Norman, the Amber Alert of candy.
I'm actually a big fan of Werther's Originals. They're not bad.
They're not bad. Not bad.
These are cookie butter creme.
What's the youngest person anyone's given you? Like the youngest person that's ever given you a Werther's?
No one's ever given me a Werther's. It's always been like a repurposed ashtray in a very old lady's house.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true.
Anyway, on that note, I guess sweet note, we got to get out of here. Y'all have a happy weekend. Thank God it'll be a normal week next week. Happy hours next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
This is an SRNU special report. I'm John Scott. Republican Mike Johnson has won re-election to the House speakership in dramatic first-round voting. He pushed back GOP holdout and got a boost from President-elect Donald Trump. GOP holdouts convened at the back of the House chamber during a tense roll call. It brought an ominous start to the new 100